We all want to achieve 1 crore corpus as soon as possible. It is more like a benchmark or even creating that financial freedom for most of us. So is it really possible to achieve 1 crore within 5 years? Yes, it is possible to create 1 crore corpus in 5 years. In fact, it is possible without even learning too much about the stock market or any other complex investment strategies. We can achieve this goal using mutual fund investments. That's what we are going to see today. We are going to see this in 5 steps, so do not miss any of the steps, which will be very helpful in creating 1 crore corpus in 5 years. First, we need to have a clear goal. That's our first step. So it could be saving for retirement, purchasing a house, or even funding for your child's future education. It could be anything, but just have a clear goal why you want to achieve this. When you have a very clear financial goal, it becomes easier, it gives you motivation, and also a clear success tracking is possible only when you have a clear goal. To have a clear goal, next is about time horizon. So in our case, we already have clarity about that. 5 years is the time which we want to achieve 1 crore. Once you have a clear goal and time frame, the next step is to assess your risk tolerance. So if you have just started your career, then your risk tolerance could be high. You could invest more in equity. So when we say risk tolerance, what kind of funds that you can select, that is kind of high risk, high rewarding category. And if you are nearing retirement, then we do not want to take too much risk and we want to limit equity like 100 by your age. The next important step is mutual fund allocation, where we want to select very specific fund type. So there are so many fund types and categories, but we should not be going overboard on selecting multiple categories, and sticking to about 6 to 8 should be sufficient. There are so many different kinds of mutual funds: large cap, mid cap, small cap, multi cap, flexi cap, sectoral, thematic, and so many different international contra active funds. So I want to pick only about 5 to 6 different categories of this, so that my portfolio is simple and at the same time well diversified. When I want to be an aggressive investor, I want to ignore debt instruments and other instruments, and I want to go with about 90% in equity mutual funds. And if I want, I can just adjust some of the funds with gold ETF or gold as well, just to spread with diversification. And when I say aggressive investor, if you have not watched my video on 3 must to do, please watch. That is available in the link is available in the description. The 3 must to do's are very particular about insurances like term insurance, health insurance, and also the emergency fund. So when you are clear about all these 4 steps, then is the next step and final step, in fact, to clearly allocate and identify very specific investment instruments, the mutual funds for your SIP. I want to stick to only 6 categories in this case. Large cap funds, where I want to put 20% of my allocation, mid cap 20%, small cap 20%, and flexi cap, which will kind of have, according to the timeline, the fund manager will flexibly allocate. So that's going to be 10%. And I also want to have some sectoral or thematic funds for about 10%, so that I can achieve some of my goals faster and better. And of course, I want to have an exposure to international funds like US equities, so that's 10%. And as I said, I can put 10% into gold ETF, or I can buy physical gold, or I can go to active fund for its uniqueness and also from overall diversification and balancing the portfolio. If I step up my SIP amount by 10%, I should be able to achieve my goal better. So I'm going to keep 10% as my step up SIP amount, and I'll show you how I can calculate all this together. So I have taken a simple calculator where I'm already clear about my time horizon, and I also told you there is a step up amount of 10%. and if I invest about 1 lakh per month for about 5 years time frame with a step up of 10% every year, I should be able to achieve my goal of 1 crore corpus with about 12 plus percent rate of return. And mostly you already know many mutual funds have given more than 15% in the last 20 to 30 years. So if I have 15%, I should be able to achieve my goal even faster, and in fact I can exceed by reaching 1 crore 6 lakhs. Risk management is very important. Every 3 months I should really review the portfolio, because global economy or Indian economy or macroeconomy, how it changes we do not know. So monitoring is very important on a monthly to quarterly basis, and of course we can adjust the portfolio. The selection of funds and the category of funds differ person to person. This is what I have done. In my next video I'll exactly show you what kind of funds I have selected to achieve my goal. Hope this video is useful to you. Please click the like button and also subscribe if you have not yet subscribed.